Imagine being able to harvest fresh food all year round, even when snow covers the ground and temperatures drop drastically. Sound impossible? Many believe that producing in cold climates requires greenhouses and plastic. But what if there was another way, one that is more natural, sustainable, and efficient? The truth is, there are little-known techniques that allow the soil to remain fertile, protected, and productive, even under harsh conditions. Small adjustments in crop selection, natural soil heating, and how sunlight is utilized can completely transform your production, allowing for multiple harvests throughout the year without relying on artificial structures. And the best part? This knowledge is not widely available. Few people know how to use snow to their advantage and avoid the mistakes that destroy crops in cold regions. Do you want to discover how to grow food all year long without needing a greenhouse or plastic? Keep watching this video and get ready to completely change the way you cultivate. To maximize the number of harvests possible in a temperate climate with snow, it is essential to start with a strategic selection of crops and intelligent planting planning. The first step is to choose plants that are cold-resistant, capable of surviving even in low temperatures and adverse conditions. Some vegetables, such as kale, spinach, garlic, onions, carrots, turnips, cabbage, and leeks, are ideal for this environment because they can withstand frost and continue growing even during winter. In addition to perennial and cold-resistant vegetables, it is also important to invest in fast-growing crops that allow for multiple harvests throughout the year. Plants such as radish, arugula, lettuce, and peas are excellent options because they can be grown and harvested in a short period, allowing for continuous renewal of the garden beds and efficient use of available space. This way, even within the shorter growing window imposed by the harsh winter, it is possible to maintain a constant supply of fresh food. When it comes to fruit crops, some species are naturally adapted to intense cold and can thrive even in snowy regions. Currants, raspberries, and strawberries are examples of fruits that tolerate low temperatures and sprout early in the spring, ensuring a continuous supply of fruit without the need for artificial protection structures. Planting these varieties allows for production diversification and staggered harvests throughout the seasons. Another fundamental aspect of agricultural planning in cold climates is the use of crop rotation and successive planting. Crop rotation involves alternating different types of plants in the same area throughout the seasons, preventing soil nutrient depletion and reducing the risk of pests and diseases. This technique naturally improves soil fertility and contributes to the ecological balance of the plantation. Successive planting, on the other hand, optimizes land use by ensuring that as soon as one crop is harvested, a new one is planted in its place. This way, the land remains productive all year round, significantly increasing the number of annual harvests. With this well-planned approach, even in regions where harsh winters and months of snow coverage are the norm, it is possible to maintain a continuous and efficient food production system. By choosing the right crops and using intelligent agricultural techniques, you can maximize productivity and ensure abundant harvests throughout all seasons of the year. To keep the soil productive even in a temperate climate with snow, it is essential to adopt natural soil heating strategies, allowing crops to develop faster with the arrival of spring. Unlike conventional solutions that use plastic or greenhouses, these methods use natural resources to retain heat, protect the soil, and create an environment conducive to plant growth. One of the most effective techniques for protecting and gradually warming the soil is the use of organic mulching. Layers of straw, dried leaves, aged manure, and sawdust help create a protective barrier against the cold, reducing heat loss and preventing the soil from freezing completely during the winter. In addition to maintaining moisture and preventing erosion, this organic material decomposes slowly, releasing essential nutrients for plants. However, as spring approaches, it is important to remove part of the mulch to allow direct sunlight to warm the soil, accelerating the thawing process and creating an ideal environment for new crops. Another natural and effective way to increase heat retention in garden beds is by using stones and bricks around planting areas. Dark-colored materials, such as stones, bricks, and wood absorb heat during the day and release it gradually at night. This strategy creates a warmer microclimate around the plants, reducing the impact of low temperatures and enabling faster growth. Additionally, the strategic placement of these elements around garden beds helps retain moisture and prevent erosion. Active composting is another valuable technique for generating heat within the soil. The natural decomposition of organic matter releases thermal energy, gradually and consistently increasing soil temperature. To enhance this effect, an efficient method is subsurface composting, where holes are dug into the beds and crop residues, manure, and other organic materials are added. As this material decomposes, it warms the surrounding soil and provides essential nutrients for plant growth. In addition to heating the soil, this practice improves soil structure and stimulates beneficial microbial activity. Lastly, constructing raised garden beds is one of the best strategies for maximizing productivity in cold regions. Since raised beds sit above ground level, they warm up faster in the spring, as they drain excess moisture more efficiently and receive more direct sunlight. This allows plants to start growing earlier in the year, accelerating harvest cycles and extending the growing season. Moreover, raised beds reduce the impact of late frosts, as they prevent roots from coming into direct contact with cold, wet soil. By combining these techniques, it is possible to create an environment favorable to plant growth all year round, without relying on artificial resources. Even in temperate climates with heavy snow, the soil can remain fertile and productive, ensuring continuous and abundant harvests throughout the seasons. In temperate climates with snow, protecting plants from extreme cold is crucial to ensuring healthy growth and maximizing harvests throughout the year. Instead of relying on artificial solutions like greenhouses and plastic, you can use natural thermal protection strategies, leveraging elements from the environment to create favorable microclimates for cultivation. One of the most effective ways to ensure milder temperatures for plants is to cultivate near walls and slopes. Stone walls, especially dark-colored ones, act as heat accumulators, absorbing solar radiation during the day and gradually releasing this heat at night. This effect creates a warmer microclimate around the plants, reducing the impact of cold nights and protecting them from severe frost. Additionally, the positioning of garden beds directly influences light and heat absorption. To maximize sun exposure, the bed should be oriented south in the northern hemisphere, ensuring they receive as much sunlight as possible throughout the day. This strategy is especially useful in winter when the sun follows a lower trajectory across the sky, and even small differences in terrain inclination can significantly impact soil warming. Another crucial factor in protecting against intense cold is the implementation of natural windbreaks. In temperate climates, cold winter winds can rapidly cool the soil and plants, making growth difficult and even causing structural damage to crops. To minimize these impacts, it is highly recommended to create natural barriers using rows of trees and shrubs. In addition to reducing wind speed, these barriers help retain soil moisture and prevent erosion caused by the dry winter cold. Trees such as willows, alders, and dwarf pines are excellent choices for this purpose, as they grow quickly, provide dense protection, and in many cases improve soil quality over time. The combination of these strategies creates a more stable and protected environment for plants, ensuring they can grow continuously, even during the coldest seasons. By leveraging available natural resources and strategically positioning garden beds, it is possible to significantly reduce the harsh impacts of winter and maintain land productivity without relying on artificial technologies. This allows farmers to cultivate more efficiently and sustainably, securing abundant harvests throughout the year, even in regions where snow and frost are frequent. In temperate climates with snow, the arrival of winter does not have to mean the end of agricultural production. On the contrary, some crops can be planted before the snow falls and remain dormant in the soil, germinating as soon as temperatures begin to rise in the spring. This method, known as snow agriculture, takes advantage of natural snow cover as a thermal insulator, protecting seeds and ensuring faster growth when the thaw occurs. Among the best crops for this strategy are garlic and winter onions, which should be planted in autumn while the soil is still relatively warm. During the cold months, the bulbs remain dormant, but as temperatures begin to rise, they resume growth vigorously, benefiting from the moisture in the soil caused by melting snow. This technique allows these plants to be harvested at the beginning of summer, even before many other crops have completed their growth cycles. Another excellent option for snow agriculture is carrots and spinach, which can be planted before winter and left in the soil throughout the cold season. The snow cover prevents the soil from freezing completely, acting as a natural insulator that protects the roots and prevents severe plant damage. With the arrival of spring and rising temperatures, these crops resume their growth and can be harvested much earlier than traditional spring plantings. In addition to ensuring early harvests, snow agriculture offers other benefits. The moisture released by melting snow provides deep, natural irrigation, essential for healthy plant growth. Furthermore, this method reduces the need to prepare the soil in spring, allowing the cultivated area to be utilized earlier and more efficiently. By incorporating this technique into agricultural planning, it is possible to significantly increase the number of harvests per year, making the most of the natural cycles of the temperate climate. This means that even in regions where harsh winters and months of snow cover are common, it is possible to maintain continuous and sustainable food production, maximizing productivity without the need for greenhouses or artificial inputs. In temperate regions with snow, where winter days are short, natural light becomes a critical factor for successful harvests. To ensure that plants receive the maximum amount of sunlight possible, it is essential to strategically position garden beds, making the most of the available light. Because the sun is lower in the sky during winter, the correct orientation of the beds can make a significant difference in the amount of heat and light absorbed by the soil and plants. Another important factor to consider is the presence of unwanted shadows. Although deciduous trees lose their leaves in autumn, their trunks and branches can still block part of the sunlight during winter, reducing the efficiency of photosynthesis for plants growing nearby. To avoid this issue, it is recommended to keep garden beds away from large trees or structures that could cast prolonged shadows over the cultivated area, especially during the morning and late afternoon, when the sun is lower in the sky. Additionally, using reflective materials such as glass bottles, light-colored stones, and surfaces that can redirect light to plants can be an effective solution to increase brightness in less favored areas. By understanding and optimizing plant photoperiods, it is possible to maximize agricultural production, even in cold environments with short daylight hours. By fully utilizing natural light, crop growth becomes more efficient, ensuring continuous and productive harvests throughout the year without the need for artificial lighting or greenhouses. Now I will demonstrate how to organize planting cycles to ensure multiple harvests in the same area within the same year. The first harvest occurs in late autumn before winter arrives, with crops that hibernate and germinate in spring with the snowmelt. The best crops for this period are garlic, planted in autumn and harvested in summer, winter onions, which survive under the snow and grow with the thaw, carrots and beets, which can be left in the soil under organic cover and harvested in spring, and spinach and Swiss chard, which germinate early in spring. To ensure success, it is recommended to use mulching such as straw and dried leaves to protect the soil and raised beds, which warm up faster in early spring. The second harvest occurs in spring, from March to May, with crops that sprout with a thaw and grow quickly. Some ideal short-cycle and cold-resistant crops include radish, ready in 30 days, lettuce and arugula, which mature in 40 days, peas, which tolerate cold and grow rapidly, and cabbage and kale, which thrive in spring. To optimize growth, it is advisable to remove part of the mulching to accelerate soil warming and strategically place stones and bricks to store heat. The third harvest takes place in summer, from June to August, with crops that take advantage of the maximum light and warmth. The best choices for this period are medium-growth vegetables and tubers, such as potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, and beets from a second planting, as well as zucchini, cucumbers, and early corn. This season is also ideal for planting productive perennials, such as raspberries, currants, and strawberries. To ensure good yields, it is important to water the beds properly, as summers can be dry, and to provide natural shading using tall plants. The fourth and final harvest of the year occurs in autumn, from September to November, focusing on fast-growing crops that can be harvested before winter sets in. Suitable leafy greens and root vegetables include radishes, turnips, spinach, Swiss chard, lettuce, cabbage, and broccoli. To protect these crops, it is advisable to reapply organic mulching before winter and to plant cold-resistant species for winter harvesting. Now you know that it is entirely possible to produce food even in a temperate climate with snow without needing greenhouses or plastic. With natural and intelligent strategies, such as selecting the right crops, warming the soil with organic materials, protecting against the cold, and optimizing photoperiods, your land can remain productive all year round. The difference between losing crops to harsh winter conditions and harvesting multiple times a year lies in knowledge and the application of these techniques. Now it is up to you to take the next step. If you want to dive deeper into these strategies and see them applied in practice, subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I share exclusive content on sustainable farming, agroforestry, and regenerative agriculture. Click here and start transforming your agricultural production. Next, I will leave a video about how to start organic farming. See you soon. Let's move towards a bountiful earth.